JulioToyReviews here, and this is a review of the Power Rangers movie, Battle Zords. So remember how last time I went over Zord in the Power Rangers movie, I went over the Trex Battle Zord? Well, this time we're going to be taking a look at the rest of the Battle Zords. The Mastodon, Triceratops, Sabertooth Tiger, and Pterodactyl Battle Zords. Each Zord costs $20 and can be found at your local retail. I decided to combine them all into one review because that way I could be able to show off the Megazord at the end as well instead of having like 5-minute individual reviews. Basically, it's killing 4 birds with one stone. But anyways, the Zords themselves include, well, the Zords themselves and a couple of war accessories. And they can all combine to make the humongous 2-foot tall Megazord. So, let's get on with this review. So first we will be starting with the Mastodon Battle Zord. And as you can see over here, it belongs to the Black Ranger due to the black and gray color scheme. And as you can see, it doesn't really look like a Mastodon. Now, let me explain. You can obviously see the trunk over here, and the legs, and the head and stuff. But what really throws everyone off is the legs over here, which kind of look like spider legs. I get the whole idea that they're going with this sort of tank hybrid with a Mastodon. And you can see that with the trunk over here, that it's sort of shaped like a chainsaw. But yeah, it looks more like a spider. What's even more hilarious is this web that it includes, which I'm pretty sure is supposed to be like a net or something, but yeah, kind of throws us off on the whole spider thing. And to be honest, this thing is really soft. If Bandai were to make a giant version of this, shut up and take my money. This is just, oh my god, it just feels so satisfying. So you put that over there, you flip the Mastodon Zord, and you press this lever over here, and the neck goes flying off. And yeah, that's the feature of the Mastodon Zord. And if you open up the head over here, you can see the Black Ranger figure, which, let me zoom in. Hold up, it's not responding well to zooming in. Let me see if I can get it to a technical difficulty, but you can basically see it. That this figure doesn't really have much paint-wise or articulation-wise, but detail-wise, like on the back over here, it is just pretty good. So, articulation, you have the arms, and you have the legs. It's basically like if you were to buy one of those Star Wars Transformers that they sold around the mid-2000s, it's kind of like that. So now you put that in. And that's basically it for the Mastodon Zord. So now let's get on to the Triceratops Zord. So over here is the Triceratops Battle Zord, and it belongs to the Blue Ranger due to the color scheme of gunmetal gray and blue. This is honestly my favorite Zord color-wise. And you may be saying, yeah, because your favorite color is blue, you're biased. And you're right. So yeah, over here is the Triceratops Zord, and just like the Mastodon, it really doesn't do much. Now, for the Mastodon, I forgot to show off the articulation, but it barely had any due to the front legs being all connected and only the back legs are able to move. But for Triceratops, it's basically the same deal. You could only move the back legs. And the function that the Triceratops actually has is that you grab one of these missiles, which there are 2 by the way, and these are actually the same missiles that are included with the Trex Battle Zord. And you fire. And basically it shoots out a missile from the tail, just like in the original show, which if you remember, the Triceratops Zord was able to shoot out a beam from the tail. And the whole thing that I said about tank treads actually makes a lot more sense here because of the fact that the original Triceratops Zord actually had tank legs. It didn't have any animal legs. And if you go over here to the head, open that up, and let me, hold on a second. And over here is the Blue Ranger figure, which, let me zoom in if my camera wants to even work. And you can see that just like with Black, he has a bunch of details, but very minimal paint and articulation. And you could just store him right in there. And that's basically everything for the Triceratops Zord. So now let's get on to the Sabertooth Tiger Zord. So over here is the Sabertooth Tiger Zord, and out of all the Zords, this actually does the least. Because of the fact that the only points articulation wise are over here in the legs, which you need to spread out for transformation reasons, and the head down here, which again, transformation reasons. But if these two weren't needed for the transformation, then this thing would have no articulation. And over here, you could go in the middle section right over there and pull out the yellow ranger figure, which, let me zoom in, and you can see that it's actually kind of skinnier than the other figures due to the fact that yellow is a female, and you're gonna see this with pink as well. So just put her back in, close the lid, and now for the cannons over here, what you're going to do is that you press over here, and they just fire like that. But I don't know, I find that kind of satisfying. Yeah, I could do this all day. Heck, I think it's actually a good stress reliever. But anyways, besides that, there's nothing more the Sabertooth Tiger Zord offers. So now let's get on to our final Zord, the Pterodactyl Zord. So over here is the Pterodactyl Battle Zord. And remember how I said that the Sabertooth was the one that did the least amount of stuff? Well, I kinda take that back. While this does have an opening cockpit and a gimmick just like the other Zords, it does not have any articulation. It just flies around and yeah, just a big hunk of plastic. You can detach these though, but that's not really articulation. But over here you have the Pterodactyl Battle Zord, and you can see that it has a consistent color scheme of pink and gray. And if you open the cockpit over here, you can see the pink ranger figure, which is basically the same as the other figures. Which, let me see if I can zoom in. It's just this has a hard time zooming in on tiny things like the figure. There it is, perfect! So you can see that over there. Close that up. And you may have noticed that the Pterodactyl Battle Zord actually comes with another figure. Yep, a putty patroller. And you can see that the putties are basically supposed to be giant clay monsters in this movie rather than guys in spandex suits, which really fits the whole sci-fi edge of the movie. And if you look close enough on the details, you can actually see that the putties are actually made up of pieces of trash and stuff. And considering what we saw in the trailer of the putties rising up from the ground, it's possible that these guys are made from like street material or something. And the main feature of the Pterodactyl Battle Zord is that you place your putty over here, you pull this back, you grab your putty, wait, I didn't do that right, and you close it in, and you just fly off with it. Or, if you want, just drop them off. And that's basically it for all of these Zords. So now we could combine into the 24-inch humongous Megazord. So due to the fact that the Megazord is about 2 feet tall, I'm not going to be able to show it in the review station. Instead, I will show it over here on the floor with the review station background over here. But anyways, in order to form the Megazord, you're going to start with the Mastodon. You're going to take off all of his limbs. You're going to grab this piece over here, take off the head, going to extend this out, attach that there, put in the Mastodon head, combine the legs over here, actually it's right over here, there it is, wait a minute, there it is. And over here, you're going to do the same, and there is some pegs over here. So, and now you're going to grab the front legs. Well, these are actually the back legs, but they're now going to be the front legs. And you're going to attach them over here. And next you're going to grab the Triceratops and basically do the same. There thin that out, pull back the tail, put in the head, attach the legs over here, attach the back legs, and this piece over here. And next you're going to grab the Sabertooth tiger, remove the cannon, flip open the legs, and flip down the head. And it'll slide right onto here. Oh wait, and something I should mention, these legs are going to come off a lot. So, let me just reattach them. Oh god. Hold on. Alright, there it is. So next you're going to grab the Trex Zord over here, take off the cannon, the tail, going to take off the legs, the head, and the cannons over here. Going to reattach the legs as the arms, up. Yeah. You're actually going to grab the head over here, which I almost forgot. Put it in. Grab the T-Rex head, put it on the back. And attach it over here. And finally, you're going to grab the Pterodactyl and split apart the wings from the actual body. And let me just put that in. And you'll see that there's some pegs on the back right around here. Oh wait, and this leg, sorry. And now you're going to grab the T-Rex cannons and attach them over here. But you could also attach them in this way, like this. You're going to grab the Pterodactyl, and it's going to become the sword. The Sabertooth's cannon will become a blaster. And the T-Rex cannon will become another blaster. And now let me just lift this up. And there we have the movie Megazord. And this thing is huge! 2 feet tall, people. This is the biggest Megazord that Bandai's ever released. And I know you may be saying, oh, but isn't the Imaginext Megazord bigger? Well, technically it is, but because of the fact that that wasn't made by Bandai, that was made by Imaginext, it doesn't really count. But if you guys want a size comparison, I actually have the interactive Megazord right here. And you can see how humongous this thing is. So yeah, movie Megazord is pretty big. And unfortunately, due to the size, you don't have much articulation. For example, because of how the legs work, you can actually bend them, but they're not going to stay put. And look at that, another piece just fell off. And the arms over here are basically the only point of articulation. Oh my god! Sorry, it's just this thing has a bunch of stuff attached to it. So the only articulation really is in the arms. But still, this is a pretty nice display. Well, if things will stop falling, this is a pretty nice display piece, especially if you have a humongous display, which unfortunately most of us don't have. Yeah, but that's basically everything for the movie Megazord. So overall, the Triceratops, Mastodon, Sabertooth, and Pterodactyl Battle Zords are very nice additions to the Power Rangers movie toy line, and I would recommend them if you're hyped for the movie like I am. These Zords, even though, as I said, they don't really do much, they're still pretty big. I mean, look at the fact that they make a 2-foot tall Megazord. That is just impressive. Like, this is an amazing feat that Bandai has accomplished. Just 2 feet. 2 feet. My god. And yes, it could barely move around the Megazord, but it's still a very nice display piece. And it is just amazing. If you're hyped for the movie, I would recommend you get this. If you prefer a smaller version of this, then I would recommend looking into the interactive Megazord or possibly the Legacy figure line for the Power Rangers movie, which has the whole Build a Megazord component. But yeah, the Power Rangers movie Zords in general are amazing, and I wish I could have waited to review T-Rex here as well, but I think T-Rex deserved his own review because of the fact that he was humongous, and these other Zords are basically medium-sized. But yeah, that's basically everything they have to say about the Power Rangers movie Battle Zords. So, what do you guys think? Leave your comments below. And until next time, I'm JulioToyReviews, and I'm signing off. Thanks for watching, everyone.